So, Fireboy and Watergirl is a game about, well, a Fireboy and a Watergirl. Not that hard to understand. The game has somewhat kind of become relevant again since the release of the Pixar animated movie Elementals, which has a similar concept to this game, especially with the main characters. But when I was researching for this video, I realized that this game, or franchise I should say, is way more complicated than you'd first think, especially for such a simple Flash game. Like, I haven't seen a Flash game franchise with this much sequels, but I'm gonna try to cover as much as I can in this video in a simple way without it dragging out for too long. So grab your red and blue diamonds as we take a look into the odd history of the iconic Flash game duo, Fireboy and Watergirl. So what exactly is this game? Well, Fireboy and Watergirl was a game made by a person named Oslo Albet in 2009. It was released firstly on a website called Armor Games, soon being available on many other Flash game hosting sites, including Miniclip, Snailbob.com, and many more. The series is known for its unique approach on the multiplayer game genre, where in order to complete the game, you need help from another player to control either Fireboy or Watergirl. I mean, technically, if you were insane enough, you could play by yourself, taking turns to control each character. But I mean, come on, only losers with no friends to play with would have to do that. Definitely couldn't be me. Yeah. Anyways, the first game that would be released was called FNW Forest Temple. This game would set the standard for what to expect for the next 6 games in this franchise. And yes, I said 6. Because for some reason, there's 6 of these games. Anyways, as mentioned before, the game would have you control our Sigma protagonists, Fireboy and Watergirl, to get to the end of a level. These levels always have some sort of puzzle to them that would have you use either the powers of Fireboy or Watergirl to progress through them. For example, some areas only Fireboy could walk through, and from there, you would have to open a gate for Watergirl to get through safely, and vice versa. You would eventually have to get the water key and fire key to pass a level and move on to the next one. And as simple as this might sound, some levels really do get challenging, especially if you're playing by yourself, which again, could never be me. You guys stay safe though. Yeah. Anyways, I should also mention the controls. So most Flash games either use the arrow keys to move and like spacebar to jump or something like that. But in this game, to make room for multiple players, who would of course be sharing one keyboard, Fireboy is controlled by using only the arrow keys, and Watergirl is used by using the WASD setup. This control setup, although very simple, actually works surprisingly well for a game like this. For being the first game in the FNW franchise, Forest Temple does a good job at introducing the players to how this multiplayer style game will work, and all the gimmicks to expect for future games. The next game would eventually be released in 2010 and was titled FNW 2, Light Temple. Wait a minute, the third game is called Ice Temple. The fourth game is called Crystal Temple. Yeah, I'm starting to see a pattern here. All of these games, all 6 of them, are basically the same exact thing with just a slight difference. That difference being which temple they're taking place in. Well, I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But I mean literally, all of these games use the same exact gameplay style. There might be some small gimmicks that might make one game different from the others, like how in FNW 6, there's the introduction of these fairies who can help you throughout a level. But apart from those small gimmicks, there's not really much standing out for each of these games individually, which isn't exactly a bad thing. But when there's 6 of these games, then maybe it's time to introduce something new. Maybe a third playable character with the elements of, I don't know, rocks or something? Or the ability for Fireboy and Watergirl to fuse into one character who can go through all the obstacles in the game. I don't know. Just make something that makes these games stand out more individually. Would make them a lot more interesting to talk about. Not saying that these games are bad or anything. On their own, These games are great and allow for a fun time with some friends, siblings, or anyone else playing with you. But if you're trying to play all of these games in one sitting or something like that, then yeah, you'd start to notice how repetitive they can get. Also, something I want to talk about is, well, what's the actual story of these games? Well, it's clear that Fireboy and Watergirl are obviously stuck in a shit ton of temples, which span throughout 6 games. But how did they even get in these temples in the first place? What's their original home? Do they have parents? Are there any other elemental people? And most importantly, what's the relationship between Fireboy and Watergirl? God, don't let those deviant artists get to that. But I guess I'm asking too much for a simple flash game that's mostly made for young kids. Also, a weird thing is that when I was researching for this video, I went on the FNW wiki and there's like these weird ass OCs that these probably 5-year-olds are making. Like, look at this. Zuriel Aminel. Okay. And this one, Rock Boy. Interesting, I guess. And then there's this one. No comment. But damn, there's really a whole fan base of this game, making their own little stories and characters, and I guess that's kind of cool. But overall, FNW was a series of games that, while nothing too crazy or complicated, was able to use the power of teamwork to make players have a fun time with each other. Before games like Among Us came out, this was one of the first free games out there that really focused on the whole multiplayer experience. And it's not perfect, not even close, but I would be lying if I said that I didn't have any good memories with this. There will always be something special about having a friend or sibling pulling up a chair to sit beside you on your family PC or laptop and solving these puzzles together. There truly is not much games that can recreate an experience like this. Let me know what you thought of this game, if you've ever played it before, if you had to play it by yourself like a complete loser, or if you were lucky enough to be able to play it with other people, like friends or siblings. But yeah, that's it. Let me know what other Flash games I should talk about that you would like to see, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay, but for real though, what is their actual relationship? I always saw them as siblings, which if true, would make these fan arts a lot more uncomfortable.